What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of But Does It Spin, and today we are going to be finally jumping into volume 30. There are 5 of them. We'll see what we can get, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Let me just say, I am so stoked to see Wind Knight, Air Knight. For those of you who have watched my other tournament videos, has been one of my favorite Beyblades back in the days. So, you know, always fantastic to see one of these. So let's go. Let's open it and see what we get. But before we continue, leave us a like if you've been enjoying this series and consider subscribing not to lose any future videos of But Does It Spin. So are you ready? Let's go. So here we are with Wind Knight out of the box. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the DB core, and it looks beautiful. It is fantastic. So cool to see the Knight here again. You can see that it is very clear parts over on the side here, which is pretty interesting because usually it does have a different color, but you know, it is what it is. The interesting about this DB core, however, is this gimmick right here. You can see that its teeth, this part of the teeth, this middle part, it moves. It is pretty interesting. I'm not sure how cool that is. You can see that the teeth are not too great, but you know, it does have this weird gimmick where it wobbles around. We'll have to see how that affects its battle, but you know, it's a pretty cool thing that they have added gimmicks to this DB core. The blade itself is called Wind. It looks fantastic. It does remember a lot of the original Air Knight and even Garuda a little bit, right? It is very round as it's supposed to be. It is pretty wide. This is wider than Prominence, I believe. So, you know, it is pretty cool to see this big stuff. It is right spinning only, as you can see, but it does have a mode change. It does have that gimmick. You can see that there are these metal rivets that can be moved. But to move it, you have to pull on this tab right here, and then you can move that plastic right there. And depending on how you move it, it changes the mode. You can see that one side, on one mode, it does have this red part appearing, and the other mode has the blue appearing. So yeah, the two modes are upper force when the red is showing, and downward force when the blue is showing. When the blue is showing, the downward force, you'll be cutting through the air downward more, which will in turn lift the Beyblade up more, giving it more mobility on the arena. When it's on red, upper force, it will be cutting the air to go up, pushing the Beyblade down to have more stability and grip on the arena. So you know, that's pretty interesting. I think in BU, the red upper force will be more useful. I think so. That's what we're gonna live it on. The armor that came with it is a 6, which, you know, it's interesting. I guess because it is so round, then they did want something symmetrical. That said, if you look at it closely, it does have 3 spots there. So I think a 3 or a 9 would also have worked pretty well. But, you know, a symmetrical 6, why not? This disc is called Moon, which is interesting because it's Moon Knight. But you can see that the metal part is very similar to the Xanthus disc. It is practically identical, I think. It does have these metal tabs you can see here, which is the BU locks, right? If you look at the core here, you can see that there is sort of like a teeth over on that edge and on this edge. Those will help with these to make the burst tougher. You can already see there, just like the Xanthus did with the Excalibur core, with Belial 2 core, and stuff like that. So yeah, the disc is very round. It does also have little holes on there. That supposedly helps with airflow as well. But just because this is super round, this will help with life after death. And because it is so wide as well, it does help with the outward distribution of the weight, you know, which always gives better stamina and balance. And the driver is a new driver, is called Bounce, which is interesting. It does have this outer ring here, which is kind of interesting. It is sort of a shorter driver, But the interesting part, of course, is the tip, which is more like a stamina tip, but it does have a spring that makes it go in. So hence the name Bounce. How it will do, we're not too sure yet. But we're excited to see it. It is a new driver, why not? I'm just wondering if it won't scrape a lot the way it is. But it is a wide stamina Beyblade. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, and those are the parts. Let's assemble it, test it out, and of course battle it against some of our other Dynamite Battle and Burst Ultimate Beyblades. And that's it, folks. He is very interesting to say the least. He does scrape around a lot when he tilts. I mean, that's not surprising because he is pretty wide here, very large. So when he was fighting against attack types that would hit him really strongly from one side, he would end up scraping and often start spinning on the wheel part instead of on the driver. So that was a little awkward to see. He did lose balance quite easily like that. I don't think he won from a single one of the... I don't think he beat anybody from this BU and Perfect Belial. So I don't know. It could be me. It could be the arena, of course. As I said before, this is more of a standard pro arena. So that might have an effect on this. Maybe they will do better on a Dynamite Battle Arena. I still didn't get my hands on a DB Arena yet. So, you know, this is what I can show you. Take the conclusions you like from that. Leave us a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to see more videos like this. Of course, we are focusing mostly on Beyblades, but sometimes we also do bring other kinds of spin tops and sometimes even stuff that are not even spin tops, but then we try to spin them anyway, just to see if we can. So if you're into stuff like this, I'll see you next time, and until then, stay nerdy, guys.